All right, so we are on our way back home now. If you've seen our other videos, we went through corporate America and showed you a few things, and then we went to grocery store and kind of gave you an idea of it's not all about just the brain. It's the whole body-mind process, and not only what you put in your brain, but also what you're putting into your body and how they work in unison with each other. Brett, what do you think? We talk a lot about the holographic universe. How does that incorporate with all of the material in the Living Vision Board?
Well, our hologram is based on the concept that all of the individual pieces are part of the whole. So with the idea that we live in a holographic universe, we can see that from a couple of hopefully fairly obvious angles for most people right now. One of them being that the universe is made up of atoms, and those atoms have particles within them that have as much distance as we see between planets. So it's almost 99% empty space. It's actually more than that. So what the human eyes pick up and what the ears pick up are just very tight frequencies and spectrums of light and sound and vibration that allow us to tune into the illusion of solidity. As an example, we can say that the photoreceptor cells in the eyes pick up on what blinks on and off at 32 times a second. Well, there's stuff around us all the time that's blinking on and off at 42 times a second, or 108 times a second, or 1 time a second, or whatever. But we don't pick up on it. That's because we're not trained to tune into it. Our nervous systems are only tuned into a very specific amplitude.
So to maybe explain this in a different way, it's kind of like explaining water to a fish.
Yeah, we're in it all the time, so it really doesn't have that much of an effect on us because we don't notice the difference. It's just always there. But now when we look at the aspects of a holographic universe and we combine that with a holographic brain, what that means is we are actually creating that universe as we go. So anything is possible. Again, it could be 102, frequency 102, a frequency of 32, or 99, or whatever it may be. But how we filter our experience is what allows for probabilities or possibilities in this field of all potential to be amplified. And that's really important to understand these days, because I'll tell you, politicians and the banking elite and multinational corporations use this in their marketing in order to get us to tune into certain values, ways of looking at the world, products. That's why we find product placement, commercials, and all sorts of things that are literally social engineering our lives as we know it. Never before in recorded history have we been literally slaves to other people's ways of thinking as much as we are now. So probably another one of the biggest breakthroughs we can have as individuals, or as parents, or as servant leaders, is to understand the mechanics of this holographic universe and the self-referring aspect of that. And here's what I mean by that. If you take a holographic plate, let's say, everybody's seen the hologram that's on the Visa card. Well, if you were to break a holographic plate, and on that plate, if there was a picture of an apple, and if you broke that plate into 100 pieces, any one of those pieces that you were to pick up and shine a light through would give you that picture of the whole. Well, that's really cool, because the same thing's true with our human body mind. All of the DNA, every single strand of DNA in every single cell that we have literally holds all of the biological information that has ever taken place in the universe and that ever can take place in the universe. That's in every high school biology book, but people don't really look at it from that point of view. We are literally holding all of the intelligence available, but we can only access that information by how our filters are structured and stacked inside of our body mind. So with this particular Living Vision Board and understanding the sciences of timeline therapy, or psycholinguistics, or autosuggestion, or hypnotherapy, or neurolinguistic programming, when you encode those processes into this Living Vision Board, you can rewire your way of seeing the world to open yourself up to possibilities for modeling the attributes of Warren Buffett, or Mother Teresa, or Gandhi, or Martin Luther King, to become whatever kind of person you want to be. And that is a lot of power. And it's also a way to break free from the social conditioning that we live in and have thoughts of your very own. And again, when we look around the world today and we see the level of destruction that's taking place, whether it's human rights or whether it's the environment or just the moral degradation of the standards that we set for ourselves and our community and our politicians and our banking, there's a lot of room for improvement. The bars are pretty low. And this is a very, extremely liberating way to leverage everything that we know about human potential and spiritual development into one simple system to consciously and competently step up and become a warrior or a healer of love and light in the world today. And if you ask me, the final frontier is consciousness. So this is our opportunity to explore that consciousness in a way that puts us at cause for the creation of it in the future of our future of humanity.
Well, let me throw another piece into that as well, and I don't think a lot of people really understand this, is really the simple fact that the universe and the world as we know it is neutral.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We can create whatever story we want, and the universe is going to organize around our expectations. It's as simple as that.
And that's why so many people, they ask the question, how can there be so much bad or so much evil in the world? And and how people of that kind of mental attitude can come to power. It all comes down to the fact that they have been able to tap into this segment of the universe, and they simply want that more than most. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. And the fact that people ask, how could things be this bad, literally creates the answer for how it can be that bad. That's the aspect
Good point.
of living in a self-reflective holographic universe, is that probability then becomes amplified by getting the answer, because the universe is organizing around the expectation of the question. So we got to learn to ask new questions. That's how we tap into the cellular memory within our DNA and wake up those new potentials, is by asking, how good can we stand it? How much better could things be? How can I see more beauty that's in the world? How can I be a reflection so the light can shine through me so other people can see what's possible? And again, all of our spiritual teachings, all of our scientific information is in complete alignment with the holographic universe theory and the theory of how the holographic brain filters information within it.
That's very, very cool.